Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat, get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, get everything you need. Also get your map because we are WWE Scatterbrained today.
Wrestling's all over the place, and hell, we're trying to keep up with all of it, every which corner and what, and hell, we're confused too.
Yeah, we're so confused. I'm going to start off with this note. Our sponsor.
There you go. And we got to start off grounded. We know that. Well, we figured that out. I mean, hell, even that was scatterbrained for a little bit today.
So today's sponsor, Crown Royal Blackberry.
All right.
It is the summer. 'Tis the season for blackberries.
It's definitely cocktail drinking time.
So who we cheersing to this week?
Huh.
I feel like we need to have a cheer. Somebody returned.
I was going to say we had a few returns this week. I mean, do we want to cheers to those who appeared, or do we just want to cheers to those who are forthcoming?
Let's cheers to both, and
okay.
we'll go over them in our show. But congratulations to Baron Corbin and Big Cass.
Soft.
Because he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Well, wait a minute. Now he never said that. I mean, you know, he had a mouthpiece there.
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay,
we're gonna talk about that.
So let's say, hell, Big Cass ain't learned how to talk in his time away. I mean, he picked that trait up. So hell, somebody got to do the talking.
So let's start off hot and heavy.
Pretty good.
Here we go.
Let's get back in there.
It was good. What? It was good taste. Summertime.
Ain't had that in a while. Shit, I don't know if we've had that sponsor this year.
All right, let's start off hot and heavy. We got to talk about Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
All right, let's start with SmackDown.
Friday
night.
All right, so first thing, let me tell you about this.
Dude, the SmackDowns are down to 2 hours now. You're getting through them fine. You're getting them through them just fine.
So look.
I haven't heard a rumor that you were watching Eating Everywhere with Braun Strowman this week. I heard that you took in an episode of the Eating Show.
I did. I fancied that episode.
Yeah, why?
I did. There was a blonde cutie on there, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, take me to any restaurant, give me a nice big plate of food with a side of Bliss. I'm down for that.
So, all right, let's talk about Punk and Cody. First off, we all knew this was coming. We sniffed it from a mile away. It is what it is. Some people are astounded by it, and they're all for it. It's going to be the greatest match on the SummerSlam card. Some people are like me. Give me something, damn it! I mean, this is. It's going to be a great match. It's Cody Rhodes. It's CM Punk. It's going to be a fantastic match.
It's like AEW 2021 right now. I mean,
get me there though. You're not driving me there.
Sir, you got to give them time. So we went over this a couple of weeks ago, Amazon shopper. I need you to let it simmer. Sometimes the delivery takes between 5 to 7 days, right?
Okay.
Sometimes you got to let it cook. Now, and here I could appeal to you this way, because if you were cooking a brisket, now you are a brisket cooking man, right? This is something that I
just ate dinner, and damn, you're making me hungry again.
Right, but you're a brisket cooking man. Now, when it's time to cook that brisket, do you crank the stove up to 700, just throw that shit on there and hope for and
I do not.
Flip it over a couple times so you can eat in 30 minutes?
Nope, I do
or do
not.
You slow it? Do you let it slow burn?
Low and slow.
Cook
a brisket.
But that's what this angle is.
Okay,
now.
So if you
first of all, you got two 40 to 50-year-old guys in here now, so they ain't doing nothing fast. So let's talk about that first.
All right, so if you're gonna sell me CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes like a brisket, okay, I'm understanding.
Yeah.
I'm getting you.
I knew I'd appeal to you one way or another. I had to think of a way.
So you got me.
That's what they say.
Right, so
the way to a man's mind is through his stomach.
So let's talk about this in form of a brisket. So first thing first, I got to do with a brisket. I got to pull that brisket out of the package. I got to put some seasoning on it, and we're gonna let it chill out in the fridge for a half a day to a whole day, maybe to dry brine. We're gonna let all of that liquid in the salt. We're gonna let all of that get out there and marry together.
Well, that's what we got on Friday.
That's
so
what
let's
we got
talk
on
about
Friday.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
So they started it. They took it out of the package. They said CM Punk came out there. He named everybody, a whole bunch of people that I really want to see him wrestle. Right, like he named the Trick Williams,
he did.
Damian Priest, and the LA Knights of the world. He named all the guys that all the internet guys want to see in the title picture. And then Triple H said, he named all of them. Yeah. And then Triple H said, I hear you, but I'm going to give you this. And damned if it wasn't the same old shit that we, but it's a new match that we haven't seen before. But I mean, they said, hey, let's crack it up. Let's take it out of the wrapper. Let's season it up and let's see what the people think.
Okay. All right. So we got that far. But what you gave me in the seasoning, though, ain't the seasoning that I want. It's not the Seth and Roman stole my seasoning that I wanted for Cody and Punk.
Well, so they've been marinating for a few years.
That is
right?
true.
So
that is true. They further along.
That seasoning is ingrained in that meat at this point now, yeah, because they've been seasoning that for about a week.
But to me, I did not want the whole, hey, we're buddies, old pal. I'll give you a match. Just say win. Come on now, I need something that's going to knock the taste buds out of my mouth. I want to see the match, but I also want to see the build up to this match, and I didn't get that Friday night.
So, right, the problem with what you said, because on the alternative you got Roman and Seth, they got that hatred, they got that blood feud, they got that one-upsmanship, they got all that. Cody and Punk have nothing. I mean, they're basically starting at ground floor here, so they got to lay the groundwork for you to start what could be a multi-year feud. I mean, they could that match could main event a night of WrestleMania for 2 years straight, just like Roman and Cody did, and you'd be on board if they tell you the right story, right?
I would. The key is, though, and we've made mention of this before, and we'll go ahead and do it again. I need more than just, we're old pals, we're old teammates. Well,
I don't know if these guys are that friendly.
Here's what I'm going to want to see, if I'm honest. And I've said it before, say it again. Bring up some AEW dirt. Bring up some of that. They
definitely got to
bring some of that to the table. Bring the, hey, whereas, we both might have took our balls and walked and went home, I went out to the road and made a name for myself while you went to your couch and stayed there for 10 years. Give me stuff like that. That's what I need.
They've got a lot that they can work with here. They both got, significant others that are affiliated with the business. They can reference them. I mean, they've got history with each other's significant others somewhere down the road. There's a lot that they can get into. They can touch on, a little bit of everything. They can even wander into Cody's dog and Larry, for Christ. There's so many different places they can go. But again, we're just laying the groundwork. We're just setting as a competitor, I want to prove that I'm a better man than you type. It's just one of those situations right now. Like, hey, when I had the title, I told you I'd give you a shot whenever. Now the shoe's on the other foot, give me the same respect. And they accomplished that, right? Well, now, I mean, so you laid the groundwork. The foundation is set. Well, now you got to fill it with concrete. So next week, we got to come out there and we've got to have something that makes me want to say, all right, where's the competitive edge?
We're getting something, but it may be a wrestling trope, unfortunately, because they're tagging against Sammy and Gunther at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
In this trope, the trope is going to say, can they coexist?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
please don't do that.
I'm sure they'll have a straight up tag match.
If they're buddies and pals, let them coexist.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will coexist with no problem. I'm sure they'll have a straight up tag. I'm sure they'll be friendly at the end. They'll probably do like the Mega Powers handshake for Christ's sake and all that. But somewhere in there's going to be a part where one of them hits the other one.
That's
teases hitting the other one. Where they get too close to the other one.
Right there.
It's coming.
Let it. If all right. So let's say Saturday night's main event. We're gonna take the brisket out of the refrigerator. We're gonna prep the pit. The pit's up to temperature, and we're getting ready to put the brisket in there into the fire.
Okay.
So let's say that's what Saturday night main event is supposed to be.
Okay.
We're gonna start the cook process right there.
Okay.
Give me the shot of, maybe the belt gets tossed around by Sammy or Gunther, and it's somewhere in the ring or at ringside as the match comes to the end. let, Punk be in there getting his hand raised and let Cody bring over the belt.
Okay.
Or let Cody just be standing there holding the belt and CM Punk go over and try to get the belt away from Cody.
So what you're saying is you want to see that first part where the brisket touches the fire.
Correct.
Where you get
the
that first crack.
sizzle.
Yeah, that first crack.
Right.
Like,
yep. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
That's what Saturday Night's Main Event. That's what I want to see.
This analogy is going to carry us through this whole segment.
Carry me to dinner in a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point now,
second dinner.
I'm literally thinking of where can we go after this to get just like a little slab. I don't need a half or anything like that, but just like two bones. Right, I could just get two bones with a little bit of salt.
But if you're gonna start the cook process there, all right. So the next few weeks after that, we're gonna let it cook in the pits, low and slow, right?
Yeah.
Let the smoke get all enveloped around it, get the good flavor from the wood going, get everything you need inside that pit, and then come SummerSlam time, it's time to take that brisket out of the pit, cut into it, and see all the deliciousness, right?
I'm not 100% sure about that.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, you got to remember, we got a lot of wrestling to do the rest of the year, because after SummerSlam, basically the next tent pole event that we're aiming for is WrestleMania,
You
right?
did say tent pole, right?
Yeah, tent pole.
Tent
pole.
Tent pole.
The next, I mean, that's Mania, because at this point now, we still got Survivor Series, we still got Royal Rumble, but those two are almost like role-playing PLEs now. They're not, we're not hanging our hat on those. They're not changing any stories at this point. WrestleMania and SummerSlam seem to be those two areas of we need to lead up into WrestleMania. And especially this year, if WrestleMania shits the bed, then we got to clean up with it at SummerSlam. We need to get the fans reinvigorated and get them back on our side at SummerSlam, because we didn't necessarily give them the best output at Mania.
Okay.
And then, if we do that at SummerSlam, well, then the idea is we carry that momentum to the next Mania. That's kind of where I'm looking at things now. Where
so you telling me I'm gonna have a 6-month cook on this brisket?
Yeah.
My God, no! I can't wait that long, sir.
All right, so if you're looking at the SmackDown side of things right now, just right now, who the hell else is wrestling at WrestleMania for the title besides the two names that we mentioned? I mean, you'll get Cody, you'll get KO back by then. You'll definitely have Randy Orton back by then. You'll have other players, you'll have other stars emerge, other stars that elevate, things like that. But at the end of the day, Triple H is always going to bank on his two most bankable characters, and on that show, that's the two guys that are wrestling at SummerSlam.
So are you telling me right now, on surface value, from what I'm seeing right now, let's abandon the analogy for a minute. What I'm seeing on the surface right now, you're telling me one of the most vanilla programs that I'm seeing right now for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, I'm going to wind up watching this maybe go into a trilogy match?
Isn't everything a trilogy at this point?
Oh God!
Brock Oba, it's a trilogy.
I don't understand how we're going to get Cody and Punk to a trilogy though.
Slow burn, sir. Slow burn.
They're going to have to put a lot of story in.
There's been a lot of brisket. You pulled out the packages. You saw a lot of fat on it. And you were like, ugh, I bought the wrong cut of meat here. But if you cook it the right way, if you leave it on there long enough,
that analogy back.
It works itself in there. So yeah, I mean, it's just so these two guys, they ain't a bad cut of meat, right? I mean, they're not. You got two prime cuts of meat right here. You're basically smashing them together and saying, what are we going to come up with? If nothing else, those two guys, even with half-ass creative, are going to make it interesting, right? They'll get there, but it's going to have to be a slow burn. There's no way you're going to fast-track Cody versus Punk into a culmination of a feud in a month.
So then let me ask this before we move on to our other topics that we're going to talk about today. Are we going to get two baby faces against each other, or is somebody going to turn? Is somebody going to get ugly and nasty and gritty? Or are we just going to have vanilla 1, vanilla 2?
Unfortunately, I think you're getting that on both angles, right? I think that I don't see the Roman Seth angle being any different. At this point, I don't know who's the face and who's the heel in that shit either.
So that's an interesting way to look at that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're saying that.
Yeah.
We're
not there yet. I know. We're not there yet. But I'm just saying. Right. I'm saying it's correlating.
We'll carry that on. Let's move on.
In that particular match, I don't think you're not turning either guy. I mean, the fans aren't gonna turn against CM Punk a benefit for Cody at this point, and they're just not gonna turn Cody.
So let's pick that back up when we talk about Roman.
Yeah, it'll come back up. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to
The parallels are strong in this one, my friend.
Yes. So let's talk about something that this show, y'all can go on and thank this show for helping to materialize. We spoke it into existence, and it showed up on your TVs.
There you go.
Trick with a custom belt.
With a meerkat belt.
I love it,
the
dude.
legit meerkat fur all over that thing.
Love it. I was like, please give him something. And then here it came. Come out with the fur belt, the white nameplates, the diamond encrusted, the blue with the top.
I don't know who's listening, but we gave y'all some freebies along the way, and we at this point now we're starting to cite our work here. If you're gonna come up with an original idea, I need you to come up with a paycheck. Okay, at this point now it's blatant. They ain't even trying to hide it no more.
So to see him get that belt, that made me all sorts of happy. I was smiling from ear to ear, grinning like a big Cheshire cat sitting on the couch.
Yeah, and that belt also was looking like one.
It was.
Too.
It was.
Yeah, it had
as gaudy
with the beard and all that it had.
As gaudy as it is, I love everything about it. And I'm sorry, Mark Henry. I know you don't like the belt. You come out and said you don't like it.
I don't think anybody liked it, but
it's trick. It's not anything like, oh, that's a beautiful belt. No, it's not that. It's trick. Everything is an accessory for trick.
Yeah, absolutely. And nobody liked the spinner when it came out either. Everybody hated the US spinner, and then they hated the WWE.
Look, we even
called
the pocketbook Money in the Bank for Tiffy. I mean,
you have to lean into it. I get it, and let's call a spade a spade. I get it. Most of the head honchos at WWE are old white guys, right? It just is what it is. Everybody that's purchasing the product ain't.
No.
So they want this crazy, gaudy, obnoxious shit.
Love it.
Because they could put it on Instagram and TikTok.
And with the white fur coat and be like, look, I'm Trick.
Right. Can you imagine? And now they're selling the replica for $700 damn dollars. Do you know how many replicas they probably set on pre-order where you got dudes?
A lot.
I mean, because you see kids every week. I mean, you see little white kids in the arena every week in full length fur coats.
Absolutely.
Pimped out. Little white kids.
Absolutely.
Pimped out because they want to be like Trick.
Yep.
And now you're going to sell a $700 belt to make you look a little bit more like him. Hell, Trick may never lose that title.
No, he may not.
He may carry that title. He may retire that title until they just can't have it no more. He just retired.
But since we're talking about the title, let's talk about the man who wearing the title, Trick Williams. He got into a match with Carmelo.
Trick Mello game.
No stranger to one another. Wonderful feud was had between those two back in NXT. I encourage you, if you have not seen their feud in NXT, go back and watch that again.
Hell yeah, but invest the time.
Fantastic.
You can see the maturation of Matrix in Belton happen right in front of your face there, and Mello carried him all the way through that. Oh, my God.
Yep. So it was a beautiful interaction in NXT. They're carrying it through on the main roster. Love the match that they had on SmackDown. Those two guys do not disappoint anytime they get in the ring with each other. But then there was something that kind of took place there at the end that was way not expected by anybody.
There's a swerve. Because out of everything that I was expecting to happen in that match, that wasn't it.
Yeah, Baron Corbin showing up at the end of that match was nobody's bingo card.
Hell no. I mean, and there have been many, many rumblings of him returning, coming back, and it's like, okay, that'll be a surprise. I'm thinking, Saturday night's main event. You're going to debut guys there. You're going to bring back, you want surprises for your Peacock audience and things like that. Holy hell, surprised the hell out of me on SmackDown. And good for him. I appreciate it because, again, we've been complaining for at least a month about how predictable everything is.
Yep.
At least now they're starting to put things into motion that swerve you a little bit.
Yep.
Like, okay, it's going to be hard to totally blow your mind on something like, nothing's going to surprise you that much. Like Sammy losing the belt after 9 days. Everybody knew it was coming.
Yep.
At least give me the surprise of it's not Cody Rhodes. It's not, you surprised me with bringing back Punk. Didn't see it coming. Great.
So go on and everybody go on and admit, how many of y'all thought that Baron Corbin was the one under the blanket in Danhausen's lap?
Oh, hell, I'd heard that in so many different places that he was definitely going to be the Danhausen creation. Again, that's why I thought Saturday night's main event. I'm like, well, that's where Corbin's coming back.
My hypothesis on that was leaked to the dirt sheets in order to give a swerve so nobody would expect Baron showing up.
Red herring out there and just make you think.
Yep.
I mean, that had been out there for a while, and if that was the case, then hey, they played them like they were supposed to, because dirt sheets sure picked up on that, and they knew that was going to be the direction. And I guess I'm thinking for me, if I'm Baron Corbin, I'm like, hell, that ain't the direction. That's like when Undertaker thought he was going to pop out of the egg back in Survivor Series and he was going to be the gobbledygooker.
So, I mean, if anybody was be underneath that blanket for Danhausen, it would need to be a character like, not saying the actual character, but a character like Festus. Eugene, something like
it's
that,
gotta
right?
Be a Frankenstein.
It's in that comedy realm, right? Baron Corbin
is Festus doing anything currently?
No, he's not.
Well, shit,
but he's also 2 shattered knees, and he can't do anything.
That's true. Well, maybe that's what he's doing under the blanket. Maybe he's in there repairing them damn knees. Hell.
But I'm happy to see Baron is going to be taken seriously back on the main roster.
For now,
until he gets sucked
into
At one
point, we had Constable Corbin, for Christ's sake. The potential isn't necessarily the highest.
Now, not going to lie, I liked Happy Corbin. I thought that character was funny as shit.
What about Sad Corbin? Remember that?
The bum Corbin?
Yeah, there was right. There was homeless. There was hobo Corbin. Well, speaking of hobos, we'll get to that. I mean, hell, that's a running theme on this show lately. Hell, WWE is highlighting the hell out of some hobos.
All right, somebody that's not a hobo that is also appearing to return is 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Big Cass.
That's what they said.
Now, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Big Cass coming back. We saw all of the promo in the video package that was there. He's apparently going to be on the Raw after SummerSlam. Kudos to Big Cass coming back, but you're missing half of your show. What about Enzo?
Well, first, let's start with I'm excited for Big Cass to come back because I can't wait for Corey Graves to announce him when he comes back, like celebrate him because they're buddies of a certain type.
They sure are.
In the tunnel of love, as they call it. But they may be tunnel buddies, so it'll be fun for them to introduce. It'll be fun to watch them interact, perhaps, and things like that. But I mean, hell, what we do know. Again, like we alluded to before, Cass didn't pick up like mic skills while he was in AEW. We know where he's been. It's not like
Big
it's
Bill
a secret.
in AEW.
Yeah, he didn't pick up mic skills, so you're gonna need to bring somebody back to do that verbal work. But he damn sure improved his look. I mean, hell,
Big Cass is big now.
Yeah, he got in hella good shape, and legit. I mean,
well, that's because of his stepdaddy.
Well,
not his stepdaddy, his father-in-law.
Yeah, there you go. There's always that. But what can you say?
You can't be married to DDP and his daughter and not get in shape.
True, but here's one thing that I know in WWE, boy, if your wife comes up, you come up too. So that starts all the way at the top in this company.
True. Oh, so yeah, Big Cass coming back. Look, Enzo has to be part of this package.
Yeah, just
for nostalgia, he's got to be there. I don't even care if he gets in the ring, just as long as he gets in there and does the stick at the beginning. That's all. I
mean, So if you're bringing Cass back, you don't use the SAWFT in his presentation if you're not bringing Enzo back. Yeah, because we don't want Big Cass to run out there and say he's soft. I mean, that's not gonna work, right? That ain't gonna.
But
carry
look,
on.
If Carmella is coming back to work,
she's not,
and you are putting her back with Enzo and Cass,
Basically, you've just fired Corey at this point.
No, there's some water under the bridge there. They're professionals,
Yeah,
this ain't a Matt Hardy, Lita, Edge.
Sure, situation. It ain't because I don't think Corey wants to make his in-ring comeback against Big Cass.
No, not against Big Cass.
No, maybe Enzo. I mean, hell, you got a shot there.
Yeah.
Shit, you're not coming back from 10 years layoff and wrestling Cass.
All right, let's talk about the hobo for the week that you
Good
were
God
talking
Almighty.
about.
Every weekly here we got a hobo.
We got a hobo. We got
highlight. I mean, get a big segment on there too.
Sammy. Now,
is this how we contribute to the homeless in WWE? I mean, we showcase like one of them that looks like one of them, and then that brings attention, like raise awareness. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah, Punk. Now you got Lyra. Lyra coming out there attacking Bailey, looking like she's strung out on meth. I believe is what I take.
Why is she homeless now? I mean, hell, Lyra had a job 2 weeks ago as she disagreed, broke up the tag team. Like, were they living together and now she's on the streets? What are we doing here?
So I get it. If you're gonna push her to be a bad guy now, I get it. But this can't be the look for Lyra.
I mean, yeah.
So if you're going to, Lyra was presented as, what was it, the Nordic mythology of a raven, right? That was her gimmick, right? So if you're going to put Lyra versus Bailey, I need you to do two things for me with Lyra. First things first, just like you had Phoenix and Dark Phoenix, give me a Raven and a Dark Raven.
Okay.
So make her dark. Turn the costume from the
Well, she came out on Monday. She was. I mean, she wasn't dark, but she was dirt.
She was. So I mean, you're getting there, but she's not going to wrestle.
She
like
was
that.
gritty.
She's not going to wrestle.
Yeah, I'd hope she'd shower first. Otherwise, that'd be an uncomfortable match.
So give me that, and then give me an entrance music that stops the whoo.
Yeah, you can't stay out the cutesy.
She can't be the
heel. You can't do the cutesy entrance music.
She can't do that.
I mean, they did that with Bayley for the long. When Bayley transferred over, she kept the whole. The pop up air balloon things for a little while
until she stabbed him with a knife.
Yeah, until she cut him. Right, when
cool.
she cut him, and basically she had completely abandoned the whole
killed
gimmick
the
at that
gimmick.
point. And then they changed the music and all that. So yeah, you got to do that at this point with Lyra because she's not the same cutesy little NXT girl that you graduated up a couple of years ago.
Now, but kudos to WWE because who are we talking about? Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who has not been on anybody's radar for the past month. So kudos to WWE for switching a light switch on these two characters and making them valid. And
they went a different way with it. If you remember when they first started teaming up, Bayley was teasing the whole crazy,
character,
freak of the week type thing. And then, all of a sudden she normaled out and now Lyra did it. So now I've heard rumors that Bayley might not be with us for much longer. She might go the way of Sheamus and New Day and things like that. I've heard rumors about that. So if that is true, maybe that's why they flip-flop the characters. Maybe they see a future with the character, but you flip-flop to keep the character with the person that's going to stay, and then you kind of, escort the other one out. I hope that's not what's going to happen, but for what they're saying that she would do in her next life, I could see it.
But the way that Lyra was kind of calling Bayley out like she did, I mean, that kind of made my ears perk up. And, she even used the line like, you were the least favorable of the four horsewomen.
Well, that's why I could start believing that those rumors that she might be departing soon because she basically got buried, by essentially a rookie. I mean, let's talk about it. She's got 12, 13 years under WWE. Lyra's got 2. So if you start getting buried like that, maybe she is on the way out.
So it's interesting what's going to happen. I think are they going to get it Saturday Night's main event?
Yeah, they're going to do it at Saturday. So they were saying it should be a SummerSlam thing, but I think Saturday Night's main event's going to kind of be the SummerSlam for those that they can't fit on the card.
So interesting match. See how that kind of shakes out. But let's get to what will be probably my favorite match of SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure it might be your favorite match of SummerSlam. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar real quick.
Yeah, so again, we're talking about creativity. We're talking about surprises. This gives all of that.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Brock in a cell in well over a decade. And we haven't seen Obi-Wan at all.
Correct that, sir. The Brocktagon.
Yeah.
The Brocktagon.
True, if you call it correctly. Yeah, we haven't seen him in that in 15 years plus. And we've never seen Obi-Wan.
No,
so,
I'm interested.
This has so much potential.
I'm interested to see where they go with this as far as physicality. I'm interested to see how much the sell is going to come into play. I'm also interested to see what the entrances are going to look like for both of these guys. Because if this really is what everybody is suspecting that it is, if this is truly Brock Lesnar's final match, the entrance is probably going to be epic.
Well, I mean, it's got to be the biggest entrance you've ever done for him at this point because at WrestleMania, that was a shock. That was we didn't know it was so. It's Brock at WrestleMania opening night 2. Of course, you're going to make it big. They did the whole free on ESPN thing and all that. But they also weren't expecting what they got at the end. That was what the hell's happening? Oh, my God, break glass in emergency type. Holy hell, this is happening.
Yep.
Well, now they know what's happening now. I mean, if that's what's happening now, I've heard rumors that Brock might stick around. He might hang around to get the Saudi payday and WrestleMania next year, which I ain't mad at that. Hell, the Saudi payday for him would probably be very hefty. So I'd find my way out of retirement to get that if it was available. But it's still probably going to be his last, let's say, mainstream PLE. He might, if he does anything at Mania, I think at that point he wanders into Undertaker territory where he only comes back at Mania to maybe do something here or there. But I think this is going to be like his last SummerSlam, and it's going to be in his quote-unquote hometown. I think they make it as big as possible for him.
If Brock stays around, I never mind seeing Brock Lesnar in a match. I've always enjoyed Brock's work. It's just the beast aspect of it,
Yeah.
the unstoppable force aspect of it. I love everything about Brock and in his matches. If he's going to stick around, okay. But whatever he sticks around for, how do you make it more interesting than what we've got between him and Oba?
There's
not anything.
I mean, because I don't, and maybe it's just lack of foresight on me, but I don't see anybody coming down the pike anytime soon that's going to have the same impact as Obafemi. I mean, there's NXT's full. You got both rosters full right now. And as I look over both rosters, both main level rosters and NXT, I don't see anybody with the momentum. I don't see anybody with the oomph that Oba brings.
The only thing that makes sense to me in my mind is if we're going into this as a trilogy match, right? We're 1-1. Trilogy match, Oba goes over.
Yeah.
Okay. Brock goes away. Doesn't show back up until maybe February.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say that the only thing that makes sense in my mind is Oba will have to have a major championship belt, like one of the big ones, over his shoulder to bring Brock back to challenge Oba for that belt at WrestleMania. And Oba was to go, you want my belt? I want your career.
Yeah, if they're not going to do the retirement.
If they're not going to retire at SummerSlam, that's the only way I can think of that they get to Mania.
Yeah, if those two are still married to each other by Mania, but I mean the way they fumbled the whole King of the Ring thing, and now Oba's giving up his title match and all that. I think basically they flip flopped. I think because what we're hearing now is that they were expecting like Roman Seth to be at WrestleMania. They were expecting Punk and Rhodes to be at WrestleMania. Well, now they kind of flip-flopped it into SummerSlam because WrestleMania kind of didn't give us what we wanted. The only thing I can look at is they flip-flopped it. Oba was supposed to be wrestling for the title at SummerSlam, and basically they just said, okay, well, we'll back that up to Mania because we can buy more time with the Brock thing, and then let's shotgun this whole Roman Seth thing and shotgun Cody and Punk. Let's put that up here now. We got more time with Oba. I mean, hell, let's talk about it.
Well, he even said in his verbiage to Adam Pearce, he's like, those championship belts are always going to be there.
Right, and Oba's, 12, 13 years younger than those guys? Yeah. So, I mean, hell, you got a little bit more time to work with Oba than you do Cody and Punk.
I just don't want my champion that I am like backing with everything within my being to be in some weird feud, first off, and I don't want the championship match to just like CM Punk come out of thin air. I don't want that with Oba. It don't make sense to do that with Oba.
It won't happen with Oba. I mean, there won't be a out of thin air deal with Oba. I feel like whenever he wins his first world title of either brand, I feel like it's going to be a shift in the company.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point it changes eras. Like at that point you change from the like attitude era to ruthless aggression type change. I feel like it's that kind of change to whereas the entire company now shifts because you're not banking on a Roman Reigns or you're not banking on a CM Punk or Cody Rhodes.
I love the fact that you are talking about a major shift in a company around a guy that we are both so adamantly behind.
We've been on this train since NXT.
Yes.
I mean, let's talk about it. We've been saying since NXT, this dude needs to be the world champ.
Yes.
Not of NXT. I'm talking the world champ of. For my personal taste, I feel like if he is the antithesis or whatever it is. I'm losing the word now because of too much drinking.
Antithesis.
But yeah. But if he's the alternative to Roman, I feel like if you got Roman here and like how we said Cody's kind of like, even though he thinks he's QB1, he's kind of like, QB3 because you got Roman over there and Roman sits high above. I feel like if Oba's that alternate champion, I don't feel like he sits above Oba like that. Agreed. I feel like the way the fans are behind Oba right now and just the look. Roman has a wonderful look. When you put him on a poster, oh hell, he's selling PLEs, right? He ain't selling many of them because SummerSlam's having a hard ass time selling tickets.
True,
but he's selling 20-some thousand of them fuckers.
True,
but I feel like if you had Oba on the marquee next to his ass with another title over his shoulder, look, I feel like that slack of tickets that ain't selling would already be gone.
Look, we saw Roman Brock for how many years in a row?
Yep.
and that sold how many tickets?
It never struggled.
It never struggled.
It never struggled. And it was the same old shit. You knew what you were going to get.
I honestly never got tired of seeing it, to be honest.
And that's the thing. You knew what you were going to get. Every Brock match, you know what you're going to get. But because it's him, you're intrigued. You're like, I want to see 1,000 F5s. I want to see a bunch of Suplex City.
Yep.
That's all I really want to see. Yep. But I want to see the guy that can take that all and give back.
And say, yes, Roman, sir, may I have another?
Exactly. Roman was able to take it and eventually give it back and then put Brock down.
Right.
Oba was able to take it and then give back and put Brock down. That's the only place you use that guy at this point now. I don't want to see Brock come out there and just dominate people all day. That's his given. That's his default mode.
Right.
I want to see Brock in turmoil, like, holy, what do I have to do to beat this guy? And that's what Oba gives you.
Yep. So Brock, Oba, Hell in a Cell in the Brocktagon. Looking forward to that. That's the most must-see match for me for SummerSlam weekend. Yeah. But let's go on to the next match. That is probably the other must-see
because that ain't the main event.
No,
that's going to be opener.
Let's talk about Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
There's your main event.
Now, this one has gotten gritty, which is what I wanted from Cody and Punk.
Yeah.
This one has gotten nasty. This one has gotten to the point where it's almost like you can tell both guys are, pun intended, acknowledging the fact that this is it.
Yeah.
This is the final nail in the coffin for this rivalry. And it's put up or shut up. Whoever comes out of this match is going to put the end to the rivalry between Seth and Roman.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I alluded to it earlier. You know, their groundwork's laid.
Yeah.
They're damn near at the top floor.
Yep.
At this point now, that condominium has been built, and we're ready to put the ceiling on this because we're about to cap this joker off. But now that they're finally letting them talk, you know, they did the whole contract signing this week.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at it like, well, damn, this only has a 3-week build. This sucks. You know, I really wanted a 5-month Royal Rumble to WrestleMania type build. But these two guys didn't need that. That's the difference between them and Punk. Well, that's why I say they parallel a lot, but you got to remember that Roman Seth's feud is 10 years ahead of where Punk and Rhodes can get.
Let me bring this part back up, which we tabled earlier in our conversation. You had mentioned, you know, I mentioned Cody and Punk being Vanilla 1, Vanilla 2, right? Essentially. And you were like, well, it's the same thing on they're both faces on the other one too.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way. I see Seth as a face, but I don't see Roman as a face. I do not see Roman as a heel either.
So Roman, he's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just the guy.
He is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He's the rattlesnake who can strike anybody at any time and don't need a reason. That's the tribal chief. He can mow you down for anything as long as he deems it fit. So with that one, that's the intrigue for me. Because where everybody has seen the OTC chanting OTC all throughout the arenas, I have steadfast in my stance on Roman Reigns. That is the same Roman Reigns that was running roughshod through the bloodline. That Roman never changed.
I mean, he said as much. He said the same thing. He's like, hey,
guy.
But the problem is the fans are behind him and he's selling merch out the ass. So at the end of the day, you know what WWE looks at. They're like, hey, storyline to be damned.
You sell a t-shirt, you stay on top.
Storyline to be damned. How many OTC shirts did we sell this week?
Yep.
Well, hell, somehow or another, we got to keep this guy a good guy. But, I mean, yeah, so he's a tweener, but he's on the right side of the fans right now.
Right.
When he was a tweener in the first run of the bloodline, early run of the bloodline, he was a heel. I mean, he was an established heel. He was only wrestling baby faces.
But they had to lean into that too for where they were going with Cody.
Yeah. Well, right. They had to make him the biggest. He had to be Thanos to have an Avengers style company.
Correct.
But you don't need that. Neither one of these guys are good guys.
Well, I mean, listen to the crowd at the contract signing.
So, and that's where I get to
back and forth.
Well, that's what I'm saying about you can't say Roman's a heel at this point because even Seth had to tell Roman, I know you hate that they sing my song over your cheers because he was even acknowledging Roman likes those cheers. He does like to be acknowledged. I mean, it's on the T-shirt, right? So clearly he does like to be acknowledged.
Don't say.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you can't call him a heel at this point. He's in full babyface mode right now. He's going to have a T-shirt that comes out that says baby mode instead of God mode next week because he's in babyface mode.
Now, I will tell you this, what I noticed.
We're going to top this off a little bit here. You want some, I'll leave the cap off. But
you might as well.
I'll say this conversation's getting good.
We're getting a little bit more sponsor.
We're going to tap it off a little bit.
There you go. Here we go. But, one thing that I noticed at that contract signing was, the crowd back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
But here's what I really noticed. It was just Seth and it was just Roman.
Yeah.
There was no Jacob. There was no Jimmy.
No.
There was no Jay.
Well, they got other business to take care of now.
So when it's just them two, I sit with that really well.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping.
Well, that's all you need.
I'm hoping that that's the way that it winds up. What I don't want. I don't need Roman to come out with another Samoan in a black hoodie. Please don't do this.
So Zilla 2's rumored to be signed, right?
I know.
And you know Triple H has sized him up for his hoodie, right? I mean, hell.
I know.
Come on now.
I don't want this to happen.
Come on now. No Samoan gets introduced into this company without a hoodie, right? I mean, Solo came in that way. Jimmy returned in that way. Jay returned in that way. Jacob came that way. No Samoan gets introduced into this bloodline saga without a black hoodie or a hoodie of some color. So Zilla's been fitted for his hoodie, right?
But if this is supposed to be the final, like the nail in the coffin for this rivalry, I don't need an interference. I don't. Now, here's what I would like to see, though. If you're going to give me the interference, let me see it this way. Give me a clean finish.
Yeah.
Obviously, Roman's not losing this belt.
Not in hell.
No, Roman's not. So
unless his work daddy takes control.
Unless
you want to talk about a shot fired right there. when he said you got your work daddy. But now I do need to point out something here, and I know my listeners. Now you got to be eagle-eyed to have pointed this one out. That's why I'm on top of it because I was eagle-eyed on this one. When he said that, did you notice that Roman said your work daddy is practically running this place?
Yeah.
He didn't say he's running it. Which is from our point of view, from a fan's point of view, Triple H is the top. He's the head boss.
Right.
But Roman said he's practically running because Roman knows that there's a higher up.
There's a final to the
a set of board members that may have to be answered to even to a Triple H. So he made mention of he's practically running this place. But my family is actually running. Some things that don't get said that you pick up on, you're like, I caught
things that
there.
make you go
exactly. I'm like, I see what you did there. Kudos, sir.
But if you're gonna give me interference, here's how I want the interference to happen. If you're gonna give it to me, let the match go over clean. Roman gonna take over the winning spot there. Let him look down at Seth. Let him have a moment, just a moment of pity, and look at Seth and go, damn. We were close once. You were my brother. We walked in lockstep. You were there. Let him reach out his hand to be like he's going to help Seth up. And then out of nowhere, the black hoodie can come in. It be Zilla or somebody else. And then Roman look at the new person and go, yeah, take him on out.
So
that's that to me. If you're going to do interference, do that.
All right. So I know that's what you're looking for, but I want to give you, I want to part on just this thought, right?
Okay.
What if we get to the end of the match? We've had no interference. We almost go clean. We get to the end we get a big spear. I mean, the off the 3 rope spear, the Braun Breaker type spear where we just run our ass off. And then, we do a little track meet. We run around the whole ring. We do the ooh-wah and all that shit.
Okay.
And then we get that, and then you hear, you're telling me you wouldn't pop for a Dean Ambrose return at the end of that match? If there was any way, because you're calling for a specific, so I'm giving you an alternative. You wouldn't pop for a Dean Ambrose surprise return?
I can't pass that up.
Exactly. There's no way and the only reason I bring it up is WWE has started marketing the Shield T-shirts again. They didn't shy away from showing Dean on camera on Monday. So now I know it's a snowball's chance.
Yeah, snowball chance in hell.
Yeah, I know it's a snowball's chance. But I'm holding out. See that little ice cube that's still lasting in my cup, even though we filled up. There's one little. I'm looking for that little ice cube to say that's the only way you have interference for me. I know know the Zilla stuff. I know all that stuff. I don't want any of that. The only way you get interference is if it's Dean Ambrose.
You know what that Ice Cube saying if that happens?
What's that say?
It'd be a good day.
There you go. It sure would be. And you know what I would say if it happens? Cheers to that. But yeah, that's the only interference I want to see. I don't want to see any. I want those two guys to do whatever they're going to do and have it out. If we're getting any interference, I only want it to be from Dean Ambrose. I don't want to introduce anybody else in that match. Don't give me that.
Touche. All right, y'all. We told you we were scatterbrained this week, so it was all over the place. Good conversation. Love the brisket analogy. Now we need to go.
Man, that carried us all the way through. Yeah. So lunch tomorrow?
Yeah, it needs to be.
Yeah. Look into that.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to today's show. Appreciate all you do. Drop us a line on the social media platforms. Let us know what you think. Hey, if you know some barbecue joints in the area, let us know. Hit us up. And with that, everybody, we bid you adieu.
Peace. Need me some brisket.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.